Lifetime's tour happening 3 nights in Shanghai. What I heard is Katy Perry Lifetime's tour. It was initially scheduled for 2 nights, is that right? And then additional night was added because of the demand?
I'm not close to the how the 3 shows came actually. Do you know, Paul? I don't know if we started with 2 and went with 3, but it was sold out in seconds.
So that would make sense because when a show sells so quickly, be able to add an additional show. I mean, the hard costs of bringing an artist to a country are there. Yeah. You've paid to get the artists there, you've paid for their trucks and all their equipment. So if you are able to add additional show, it's a great opportunity for the artists.
Yeah. And it's great to kick off the 15-year celebrations of the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Yeah. So Katy Perry performing those 3 shows now starts a series of celebrations for the arena over the next year.
That's fantastic.
But yeah, it was a great event. Colleagues in the room here have told us. So yeah, shame to miss it. I think she was in Japan last night.
Yes, in Tokyo, I think.
Yes, yeah.
And then the roadshow continues until what, July of next year, something to that extent.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Very cool. Help us understand a bit of with grand artists like Katy Perry. How did they select these locations or cities or venues? What's their thought process in that?
Well, the thought process is, working with agents, etc., who help book the shows, ensuring, what the audience is there, that they would look at people that download their music, and trying to work out the best way and how many nights they can do in a market. And sometimes it's a risk. A promoter's job is to plan this with the agent, and a promoter is a risk taker. And 90% of the time, it works really well and they get it right. 10% of the time, it doesn't work so well, and it's very costly because you're still paying the artists. And if you don't sell those tickets, you've got a problem in your hands. So a lot of research, but most of it comes down to the point you made earlier about data. We have to analyze the data we have, and that could be from record sales, previous shows, fan bases, fan clubs,
streams.
Yeah, all these streams, exactly. All these things help build a profile up and to make those decisions.
Yeah, where the fan base is and where you can sell tickets.
Matt's dad's an agent, so Matt can probably...
look, there's lots of factors that go into that. From an AEG point of view, we took Ed Sheeran to India earlier this year, so it's quite a new thing for us, and he played 7 shows in 6 different cities around India, which was great. And I know that particular artist was very keen to play there.
But then there's also challenges in each market because, putting a show on is really expensive. People say to me, why are tickets so expensive? Well, reality is the cost of putting that show on, that production, the dancers, the band, paying the venues, it's not a cheap process. So really the cost of the price of the ticket is because if you want a real spectacular, then you have to pay for that. But taking someone like Ed Sheeran to India, you couldn't justify the cost of the ticket. People wouldn't be able to pay the cost of a ticket. So we had to work with sponsors to help subsidize the cost. And Matt did a great job getting sponsors in the market to make the price of the ticket much cheaper. So the Indian community could actually, decide to pay those prices, because the places we were going wasn't just the Mumbai and the capitals; it was Pune, going to smaller Hyderabad cities as well.
Yeah. And having that affordable ticket price is very important.
Yeah, it's great for the community that they get the entertainment they need.
Yeah,
exactly. Fantastic. Yeah. One last bit of question, I'm just always curious. For all these world tours by artists and so forth, is there any sort of science or art on where did they start and where they sort of end the tour?
It's truth actually. So it all comes down to availability of venues. And a lot of those availabilities, they want to play certain venues. So the O2 in London is a must play for most artists because it's actually #1 music venue in the world. This year it's done 237 shows. Because we don't have a sports team there, you've got more available dates, so it enables more shows to come. And so a lot of artists want to play the O2, for example, in London. So they have to check availability of when they can get in. And from that, they'll be able to book a world tour. And there's other venues around the world they also want to play as must-plays cities. So it's really trying to find, it's real complicated. If you're ever planning you work for trip.com, so you plan lots of holidays. But reality is, it's like planning a vacation. It's about making sure that you have the best route possible, because there's no point of going from here, from UK all the way to America and then back to Europe, because that's not economic to do that. So it's finding the best route, ensuring that you can go to those key markets on the route and fit in. And it's a very, very complicated process when, we have artists saying, I want to play the O2 on this night, and it's already got booked, and our booking team will try and work with all the agents, etc., move things around to fit everyone in and keep everyone happy.
Yeah. And that's a challenging job, I think, for the live booking agent, where they're mapping out, the distance for a truck to take the touring gear from, Denmark to Sweden over a certain number of hours, and the drivers have only got a certain number of hours. And, when the tours are particularly large, they'll have the stage set up twice. So they'll have two stage sets. So one will be setting up here. There's already the second set of staging going to the next venue on some of the bigger tours. So there'll be 20 trucks here and 20 trucks ahead. So because of if it takes more time to build, so it's ready.
Yeah. Do you have any insight on how long does it take to plan such a thing? Any sort of world tour?
I think every artist's creative process is different. I think when they want to go on tour. No, I think that we've had tours that have been in the planning for years, and then others that just come and quickly take off. So I don't think there's a exact science to how long it would take.
And the other trend, actually, we're talking about all these huge artists from, the Rolling Stones to Ed Sheeran to Taylor Swift, but also we're finding that because of social media and how the world's changed, there's so many artists filling out arenas that people like you and I probably even didn't hear about these people 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. These are artists that have just blown up from nowhere, and they're able to sell out arenas. We've had 50 artists this year selling out the O2 Arena for the first time, who wouldn't have actually sold arenas before, and they are basically coming around. And these artists are short lead times because they're blowing up. Promoter wants to get them out while they're still hot, and get them out quickly. So we're seeing a lot of that at the moment. And again, I talk about my kids again, but reality is it's often artists that I've not heard of, and my kids go, I have to see this person. They're playing at the O2, and I'm like, who? Yeah. And they find out they've sold out. And also, it's not just about artists. There's podcasts. I mean, you could be doing arena shows. Podcasts have sold out arenas now.
Podcast arenas?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing. There's a lot of them. There's been a couple at the O2 recently, a political one, but also one that I did go and watch it, and I couldn't believe what I was watching because it was terrible. But the reality was there was 18,000 people having a great time watching this podcast, because they made it fun, and it wasn't just a podcast. They were doing interviews and silly things on stage. It was just an extension of what a podcast would be. So the world's changing completely. And the likes of the Rolling Stones and the Ed Sheerans of the world are competing for dates in venues with podcasts now that can sell out arenas as well.
Yeah, it's nice. You can discover new music and new events through your children. My children are at Kendrick Lamar tonight in Melbourne with my wife. So not that that's discovering new music. It's a fantastic Super Bowl performance.
But the AG model is not just about arenas as well. We have venues of different sizes. So we have venues that start from 2,000 or 1,000 capacity all the way up to 20,000 seat arenas. We want to work with artists on the start of their career, moving all the way up. It's down to the promoters to decide, is an artist ready to take the leap from a 4,000 seat venue to a 20,000 seat venue, or are they better doing 2 nights at 4,000 seat arena and making that gamble and that decision? And so we have a host of venues of different sizes to meet all the different needs. As I say, it's artists on the way up, artists also when they're on their way down, but also artists that wanted to kind of do that, that small, intimate gig. I mean, we had Prince play when at the O2. He did 21 nights, And for 18 of them, he did an after party in one of our smaller venues. And he went on to 3 o'clock in the morning doing just jamming along. So
3 in the morning.
Yeah, it was a real party atmosphere, and it was the must-have ticket was trying to go to the after party where he performed, on stage.
Yeah, it's amazing to see how you guys have such a big infrastructure, all the different type of venues, and the data that backs it up, so you know what to select and when to make it happen.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is definitely the coolest job in the world.
You know what?
I'm happy. I've worked for him for 15 years.
Yeah, can't get rid of him. But reality is, we're very lucky. We're very fortunate to work in something we're very passionate about, which is very important. It's a fun environment. It's tough. It's hard out there. But reality is, we enjoy our day jobs, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. Everybody should be passionate about their job, and that's very important.